back to Sanyin Podcast. Today, I'm joined by my friend Chereela, who is going to join us and share views about his work. He's a digital content creator here in China. Mr. Chereela, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, okay. Thanks for having me, of course. My name is Chereela, and I'm from Sierra Leone, West Africa. I've been living in China for 2 years. I'm currently in Shanghai, China. You know, I just make content about life in China as a black foreigner, as most of the people who know me already have seen. But if you don't know me, of course, that is what I make. That is the type of content I make.
Okay, you've already introduced yourself, so I'll skip that one. So someone may ask, what? How did you start your content creation journey, and what inspired you to do it?
In my opinion, I feel like, to be very honest, I actually didn't. I was not expecting to go into this kind of content. At first I was just making normal vlogs, life in China, all these type of things. But at the same time, because I'm a social media type of person, I love watching videos on social media, especially Chinese TikTok. You need to like adjust with the environment that you are living in. So you need to watch videos from Chinese TikTok, know what is going on. So I came across like a lot of videos, like I never see really good videos about Africa. All the videos that I see about Africa are so gross, like a lot of people, like a lot of Chinese bloggers just make these videos and post it online, get a lot of views. Every time that I scroll, maybe, like if I scroll past one video and maybe I will not see it for like a couple of three or four videos, then I see it again. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, these people, do they really don't know that Africa is not a country, or like Africa is a continent, a whole continent, and there are over like 50 something countries or whatever? Like, I need to start talking about issues like this. And a lot of content creators in China really hide issues like this, especially black foreigners in China. Those who make content, they hide it. Maybe they are scared of backlash, or maybe they are scared of like them, like getting out of China. There's this thing that is going on. If you say something bad about China, you might get into trouble, blah, blah, blah. But I realized that it is not a problem, with China as a country. The problem is the people, So I decided I need to start talking about this. Maybe if I start talking about this, or if I start creating awareness, I will make a contribution to these people, like, for them to stop, something like that. So
So basically,
that was exactly why I started creating this type of content. Yeah, that is why I started making this type of content.
okay. So basically, your content is highlighting African experiences in China.
Yeah, exactly. Because a lot of people, mostly they make content dancing, doing a lot of stuff, But I noticed, I just saw like a little bit of gap. For me, it's a gap, and it's an issue, of course. And I have Chinese friends that I like, they don't really know about Africa. Most of them that ask me a lot of questions, of course, they're gonna be like, is Africa a country? Or, like, why Africans are like, bad, or why Africans only do a lot of bad things. A lot of questions. So I was like, these people don't really know about Africa. It's high time that I start talking about issues like this, because I hardly find foreigners who do this, right? So
Yeah.
that was why exactly I started. The inspiration actually came from.
What has been the one of the most depressing type of content you've seen? Maybe you can share with us.
Actually, I've seen a lot of different, content. But for me, like the content that I hate, that I see on the Chinese social media, it is when maybe a Chinese person see a foreigner, right, and maybe they take videos together. Just the excitement. I've never seen a foreigner before, and then they post the videos online. That is where the problem is. A lot of people are gonna like say such bad things to the foreigner, and at the same time they're gonna like say a lot of bad things to the Chinese person, saying they both should get out of China, or like, the Chinese person is not really like part of China. She just needs to go live in Africa, or he or she, just needs to go live in Africa or something like that. So for me, it's kind of like disturbing. Like, when I go outside in reality and I meet people, even if I want to take videos with them or if I want to take pictures with them or something, just a good experience. It's gonna, like, they're gonna be like, well, like, no, even if they're happy to meet you or talk to you, because they're gonna think like you're gonna post this content online, and if you post it online, you're gonna get a lot of hate. They're gonna get a lot of hate. So, and another thing, also, another type of content that I see that I hate is when they look and when they get videos. I don't know where they get these videos from, because I am an African. I've been living in Africa itself, like Sierra Leone, for like my whole life. I literally came to China like two or 3 years ago, and then, like, I started seeing videos that I've never seen in my whole life, like videos of people living in like miserable conditions. It was kind of like not good in my opinion, because I have to be honest, I've lived in China, and the part of Shanghai that I live, trust me, I've seen things that I don't even want to talk about on camera. But I never go like and talk about it. I never make videos and talk about it. Like, this is how people are living here in Shanghai. You just see the bond, all these luxury places and things like that. But like, you don't see exactly what the lower class people, like, the life they are living in, on how they are surviving. So you see, there are people in Shanghai, that are surviving on, like farming and all these things or whatsoever. Even the places they live, I don't want to talk about it. That is, this, you gotta post it on WeChat. So I don't want to talk about it. But yet still, we as Africans or foreigners, we don't really make content like this and post it on international platforms. They don't see this. For me, like, if I want to blow up right now on YouTube, I can go to those places in Shanghai and I can make a video like, this is the part of Shanghai you don't see, or this is the part of Shanghai you've never seen. That video is gonna blow up. It's gonna go viral. YouTube is gonna promote that video, because obviously you're posting something bad about China. But I can do it. I don't do it. So you see, that is the problem that I have. I hate seeing those type of content, and I feel like no matter what I do, or no matter how much videos I make, like, it's not going to stop, because, like, every day I keep seeing more videos. Every day I keep seeing more videos. But at least, there are a few people, or Chinese people in particular, who send me private messages. I know, like, my content is actually reaching out there. So
Would you also want to blame the Chinese social media platforms like WeChat and Douyin for not really filtering through this content?
yeah, I feel like it's, how should I put it? I feel like, yeah, the platform itself is a problem, because I have to be honest. Before I started making contents like this, I tried my best to understand the platform rules and regulation, because this is China. You don't want to get into trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I tried my best to like understand the platform rules and regulation. And some of the platform rules are gonna tell you, you don't post such content online. No such thing as, the discrimination or racism or whatsoever. But like, if someone sent me a private message and I report the person, like, I'm gonna tell you right now, WeChat is not gonna do anything about it. The best they can do for you is maybe like ban the person for like 2 to 3 days. You can't send messages to people or whatsoever. And for the comment itself, what they're gonna do for those comments, if someone comments on your video any racist stuff, all they can do is like uh delete the comment. They're gonna make you feel like they actually, like, passed on an action, or they actually penalized this person for doing such thing, but they didn't. I observed it, I checked it, and I've proved it already. So, like, for the platform itself, and like the reason why we think, or the reason why the platform promote this type of content, it is because this is what Chinese people want to see. When they see this type of content, one person shares it. It's just like, if I post a video today and a lot of people, like one, two, three people, start seeing the video and they actually like the video, they're gonna share it to another person, and another person share it to another person. So that is how the algorithm works. So the Chinese people love to see this kind of videos because they think this is how Africa is, and like these bloggers or these Chinese bloggers are actually really giving them an overview of Africa or an understanding of Africa. Meanwhile, they don't know they're actually lying to them. So, like, I feel like the platform itself is a problem. There was a time I started posting my content on Douyin, and I posted one video. I didn't say any word like discrimination or racism because I know I don't want to use this word in China. I don't use these words on this platform. If you watch all of my videos, I never mention the word racism there, but everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about. So, like, I posted the video on Douyin, and when I posted the video on Douyin, the video was banned. Yeah, like I
Oh,
never said something about racism. I never said something about like I'm just trying to educate these people. Like every black person is not the same. You can't categorize black people into one category. There are black Caribbeans, there are African, American blacks, and all these things. So like you don't have to categorize. If you see American videos of people or black people shooting each other, that means an African person also is gonna shoot you. No, so they are trying to categorize people, which I was trying to educate them. But they said I'm trying to create like separatism. I'm trying to class people into different categories. So my video was banned. And most of the videos that I post on Doing, they never go viral like WeChat. So that is the reason why I stopped posting on Doing even. And for Quiet Show, which is another Chinese platform as well, like I see a lot of African videos, like negative African videos. But I posted a video there and then my account was banned. WeChat is the only platform that I've never seen, like I haven't seen anything like that yet. But I guess my days are numbered. That is why I tell people to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I posted a video like recently about yesterday. It got up to 14,000 views. Then the video stopped going viral. Like I don't know what WeChat did, or I don't know what the algorithm did. Like because if your video start going viral, no matter what you do, it's gonna keep going viral because people are gonna share it. But I noticed the views stopped coming in. That means my video was shadow banned. And what am I talking about? I'm just talking about someone's comment on a like on a negative African video, and the video is already shadow banned. Come on, like it's a serious issue, by the way. And I feel like these platforms are not really actually doing what they are supposed to do. For YouTube, if you post anything like in terms of racism or whatsoever, and the person gets reported, definitely like they are gonna take action about it. But WeChat is different. I have to be honest.
okay. There's a bit of contradiction. I think last week Speed was in China. There was a craze about him. Speed is a black African American, and we all basically have the same skin color, but there seems to be a different set of treatment. Maybe because he's a streamer and an American, and then there's me. I'm from Uganda, I'm from Sierra Leone, and you're not that. Do you believe that we may be black, but the difference in being treated is probably because one is American, one is European, one is African?
I was expecting that question, by the way. Yeah, definitely something like that. Like the thing is, uh, there is a different treatment for people who are like black, but they are famous. Take for example, people like the late Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, and Speed himself. Like people like these are kind of like influential, if you understand what I mean. If I was famous and people know that I have maybe a lot of followers or something like that, obviously they're gonna treat me like Speed. That is how it is in China. Like when you're rich or famous, they forget about your color, if you understand what I mean. Your color doesn't really mean that much. Now it's your status. Your status is already high. So there is no way like they're gonna be racist to you because they all think all Africans are broke, all Africans are poor. We are all from the same, if you understand what I mean. So for someone like Speed, like like people didn't know him that much when he just came to China. But you saw like by the end of his stream, he went to places like they invited him to places like Changsha, just to like showcase the culture or whatsoever because they knew he was famous. That is the reality. So definitely, like the normal type of Africans or the normal type of blacks are gonna get different treatment from the famous ones or the ones probably who come from the US or maybe the UK or something like that. Definitely, they're gonna like there's a huge difference, of course, because mainly it's about status. Like I said, if you or me, we are famous, for example, like really, really famous with a lot of followers, and a Chinese person know you have up to 10 million followers or maybe 5 million followers or 1 million followers, they're going to put a little bit of respect on your name and they're going to forget about your color. I don't know why that really matters a lot in China, but that is how it is.
The funny thing I realized about Chinese culture is that there are mainly three aspects that define probably how you're treated: your wealth and status, your color. I find there's a lot of preference for white skin, Caucasian people in opportunities, and also your political connection or affiliation, something like that. But if someone is to say, maybe it's just that they weren't really. China has recently opened up less than what 60 years ago. So someone may say they're just getting used to this influx of people.
Somebody said what?
That China just recently opened up, probably 1978. So they're just getting used to this influx of people coming at a go. So it's not embedded in their culture yet.
Yeah, it is not embedded in the culture. It won't be embedded in the culture. But like, what I can say is, as the years go by, like a lot of people, like the young generation that are growing up, are actually seeing the reality. Because for me, like I have a couple of like young people when they see me outside, they talk to you, they want to be friends or something, they want to like get to know about your country, take pictures with you and all these things. But the problem is the old generation. I have to be honest with you, like the people you see that are making comments online, most of these people, they probably don't have any education background at all. Yeah. So I can tell you that I've interrogated a lot of Chinese people actually. You know, for me when I was young, I got the education, in terms of racism. Not like racism exactly, but I was taught that there are different kinds of people, the Caucasoid, the Mongoloid, the Negroid, the Australoid, something like that. I was taught that. So as I grew up, I came to realize like there are different kind of people. So like it was not something strange to me, and I don't need to be racist about it. But like that kind of education, it is not taught in Chinese schools. I have to be honest with you. I don't know if people know about that, but it is not taught in Chinese schools. So that is a huge problem. And no matter what, racism starts like when the child is small.
Hmm.
If you tell a particular child that this black person is really bad, stay away from this person. Definitely, as they grow up, when it's you, they're gonna run. That is how it works. They're gonna grow up with it. You know, for example, like there was a time in my own neighborhood. I never posted a video about it. I made the video, but I never posted it online. I was about to charge my electric bike, and I saw this lady. This lady was playing with her baby or something like that. Then she saw me. When she saw me, as I was coming a little bit closer, I already parked my bike and I was coming a little bit closer because they were on the side. I was just passing by. As I was moving and passing by, that was how she was actually like trying to cover the baby's eyes, trying to cover the baby's eyes not to see me. I was like, what the hell is going on right now? I felt really embarrassed. Like you're trying to hide your baby from seeing a black person as if the person is like not supposed to be seen or something like that, or the person is something else. That was so embarrassing for me. But I had to deal with it because I'm already used to it here in China. I meet people in the street. Like if you try to be friendly, hello, hi, they just walk away or something. It is normal, but I feel like it has to be based on the education system. because I have friends before. I've been friends with Chinese before, especially people that are living like maybe in the Cantonese, like maybe the ones who live in Guangdong. Like I have a friend before in my school, and she actually was a really good friend of mine, but we lost contact with each other, by the way. And I asked her a couple of questions, like, why like a lot of people are like this. And she told me like the reason why she is different from other Chinese, it is because when she was young, her mom told her like she needs to treat everybody the same. So you see, it depends on your family. When they are young, if they actually give them that kind of education, everybody has different colors, yeah, but you gotta treat everybody the same way. You don't have to be like, you don't have to be racist, or you don't have to be like, oh, this person is bad because he's black, or you should not talk to this person because he's white or black or whatsoever. So it's all depends on the education. So a lot of young, like I said before, a lot of young people have been like, gaining some more experience about this, and they are becoming much more better. Yeah, but it's gonna take a long time, for that to
So
change.
someone may ask, obviously you receive a lot of hate on your platforms. So how do you navigate this, noise and hatred that you receive?
For me, I don't know, like I just don't care anymore, as Africans, we are really like, strong enough to get through all this thing. But I had some people who like are blacks. They normally text me and tell me their experiences in China here. And I had a girl from South Africa who sent me a message privately. She said whenever she see this video, she cries. I just try to like comfort her and try to tell her to be strong, or something like that. But for me, I'm used to it. Come on, I'm a guy. Like these things, when they text, send me a private message. All I do is block and report, block and report. Whatever WeChat does is their business, but I block and report, block and report. That is all I do. I still have the messages. I don't delete them. I still have them. Like a lot of messages coming in telling me I'm a chimpanzee, telling me go back to Africa, telling me what are you doing in China? You're not really doing anything. But the fact they are forgetting the fact that I'm living in China. I have expenses. I rent. I pay rent. I buy food from local vendors. I do this. I do that. I spend money. That I'm contributing to the economy. No matter how small it is, I'm still contributing to your economy. So what do you mean I'm not contributing? I'm not doing anything in China. Are you okay? So you see, that is the problem. But for me, I just ignore all the noise. I ignore the noise. That doesn't really like do me anything anymore. Even the comment section, they actually do send hate comments, but I don't care. I just reply them in the most respectful and try to educate them the best way that I can do. That is what I do.
Wow. But then, there's something for someone who listen to this video in Africa. There's a different narrative being pushed. China Africa relations are the highest. China Africa this, China Africa this. And there's this aspect that's not been told. Like, why do you think so? Is it that at the government level everything is okay, but at the interpersonal level things are not okay?
Yeah, I think the government level it is okay per se, because I don't want to talk too much, about this government and things, but I feel like it is okay in my opinion. The problem is the people. I don't know why they are doing it or how they are doing it, but like they are not actually, and most of the people, it's not racism to be specific. I know like it might sound strange to you, but like most of them it's just ignorant. You understand? Most of them are just ignorant. They are just stubborn. They are just crazy. Because some of them actually have VPNs and they've actually seen the outside world on media, what it's like. They are just trying to be ignorant and sometimes some people are racist or whatsoever. So like I feel like it's more about interpersonal level. I feel because there are sometimes I see some comments on social media like someone tagging the government, like maybe a government body or whatsoever, to like get these people out of China or whatsoever. Why are you like mentioning like an online government account to get someone out of China? The person that posted the video didn't even do anything in the first place. And obviously, so like I feel like they're not getting educated. I've never seen any, like I hardly see any content creator that is Chinese that is actually giving them education about foreigners or whatsoever. It is hardly. I hardly find something like that. It is not like international platforms, for example, where we see like uh maybe I see a video about China, for example, from I Show Speed. Look at what he did, you know. And I also like maybe I see more educative content about other places. It is very difficult for me to find that here in China, especially in relation to Africa. So I think in terms of in government level, like they actually, the relationship is good, but in interpersonal, it is not. And they don't really know what is going on because there is no awareness. I don't know why, but there is no awareness at all. For example, take a place like Guangzhou. Yeah. If you go to Guangzhou, you're gonna know that uh, the blacks in Guangzhou or the Africans living in Guangzhou, like they are the ones making business thrive in Guangzhou. If you take a closer look at it, and like most of the things that are bought in Guangzhou and the things that are exported, or like most of them are being bought by these Nigerians and all these these countries. And like without countries like Nigeria and other African countries, like I'm telling you, to be very honest, the business or the economy in Guangzhou is gonna like really, really drop. A lot of people will like go out of business or whatsoever because Africans are the ones helping the business grow. But these people are not being told. They are not being taught about that. Like it is very difficult. Even news channels, they don't talk about this. But when it comes, I saw a video about a white guy who came to China. I think he was from France, and the Japanese war, something like that. And that guy was promoted, and he even created a social media account on WeChat, got a lot of followers. Yeah, because he's white. But what would have happened if that was a black person? I don't know. Maybe he would have gotten famous too. But it is real. Like it is when, like our race, when it comes to China, our race is like the least. Like people, when it comes to respect, like our race is the least they are gonna respect. Trust me. Yeah, so to answer your question, I feel it's more about interpersonal level, not the government level. Because if you take a closer look at it, the government are giving some scholarships to some African students or a lot of African students. Like you can come to China, you can study here, you can work here, depending on, whatever certificate you have or whatsoever. But like when it comes to like educating their people, I don't think it has to be the government. No, it doesn't have to be like that. So
Mm.
yeah. So it's more about interpersonal level, in my opinion.
Someone may ask if I'm to speak for other content creators. Is that such content is very controversial and they fear they may be deported and have even their scholarship taken away. Don't you have those fears?
For me,
Yeah. Don't you fear that you may be chased away and deported, or maybe your school will give you some, restrictions or what?
so like for me, I feel like my content is more about educating people, not about like mentioning. I'm not trying to point out. That is why if you take a look at most of my videos that I make, I put a disclaimer right there, like I have a lot of Chinese friends who are being nice to me, who are really being good. So I'm not trying to put all Chinese people in one category. I always mention something like that, because I know what it's like here in China. You say something you're not supposed to say, but I feel like if you don't mess with government affairs, then you should be fine, in my opinion. That's it.
Hmm.
Just obey the laws and don't create content in relation to that. That's it. It's none of your business. Seriously. So you see, so that is why I create content more about, like more about educating Chinese people. And a lot of Chinese people have texted me like, I never knew Africa was like this before. I never knew Africa was like this. I never knew foreigners in China like this. Yeah, thank you so much for doing this. Thank you so much for doing that. So the content that I'm making is making great impact for my school. Like, I don't know about other foreigners living in China, but for me, like, I don't really care that much. What I mean, I don't really care. I don't think, in my opinion, I'm making a really bad content. I'm educating people. And if my school tells me, for example, you need to stop making content like this, or else, your scholarship is gonna, I'm not gonna be scared. I'm being serious. I know you're gonna post this, but I'm not really gonna be scared about that. That is, I had to make up my mind before I started making content like this. Whatever happens with me, there's gonna be a plan B. So because it's too much, like I can't even like breathe on WeChat channels anymore. I can't watch videos that are gonna make me smile anymore because every time I scroll now, the algorithm is just gonna feed me. It's not like I like these videos. I don't like these videos. When I see them, I scroll. When I see them, I scroll. But like the algorithm keeps feeding you with a lot of bad videos, and they don't want you to talk about it. It doesn't make sense to me. You know, so definitely, yeah, that is why for me it's more of an educational content rather than trying to say Chinese people are bad or Chinese people are racist. No, I didn't say that. Chinese people are not racist. I've met a lot of good Chinese people. Even yesterday, I went out with dinner with like a really good Chinese family. So I met a lot of good Chinese people. But at the same time, there are a lot out there who probably don't have this education about foreigners or black people or whatsoever. That is what I'm trying to give them. I'm just trying to educate them. That's it.
Okay. Um, One of my last questions to you would be, what would what advice would you give an African coming to China? Let's say to study and work.
This is a good question. For the Africans that are coming to China, in my opinion, I feel like for all the Africans who want to come to China, China is not a bad place to study, work, or live in. China is a really good place. You can come here, you can thrive, you can grow, you can make money. But the best you have to do is to ignore the negative comments. Don't try to force relationships when you come here. Maybe you might meet someone and the person doesn't like you. If they don't like you, move on. Just move on. There are a lot of Chinese people out there who love black people. They love black culture, black music, and so on and so forth. So I feel like because I make these videos, that shouldn't really stop them from coming to China. I'm making most of these videos to educate the Chinese people who don't really know about Africa or anything like that. I'm not trying to like tell people, oh, don't come to China, go to another country or something. China is a really safe place as well. So if they want to come to China to study, if they want to come to China to do business, if they want to come to China to work, whatever, then if they have the opportunity, they can come. It's a great place to live in. Yeah. I've not actually traveled to like, many other countries or something like, but in my opinion, I feel like it's more safer and much more better to live here in China. Yeah, the only thing when it comes to China, just abide by the rules and regulation and ignore the negative comments because hate is everywhere. Like it is everywhere. Like and no, like we can't really stop it, because it's already gotten out of hands. I think it gotten out of hands in a way, even like the on the when you talk about the higher category, like they can't even control it. So like they just let it be like that. So that is how it is. And that is what most bloggers or most video creators do. They just ignore the hate, ignore the racist comment, then they just do whatever they want to do. But for me, like I'm just trying to create a voice out there. I'm just trying to get a platform to come together, like to get that platform that like to have a voice, something like that. Because like every voice matters, and even if I feel like nobody's listening or something like that, I still have to like keep making my videos because I know like my videos are getting out there, reaching to people. So if you are watching this video and you want to come to China to study work or whatsoever, then go for it. Yeah.
Okay. My last question would be, what makes you a proud African?
For me, what makes me a proud African? For me, just literally like everything, everything makes me a proud African. Some people back home they will be telling me like, you're in China, you're never gonna come back home again. You're enjoying China so much, even though you're making videos like that, blah blah blah. But I still love my country, of course. I'm not gonna stay in China forever. Nobody is saying that. You know, the culture, the strength, like I told you, because it takes a lot of guts to make content like this. I know a lot of other Africans are scared, but me as an African, a West African, like I'm not really scared. So like for me, the culture, the strength, the way we survive, and still shine. Like being African for me is a flex. That's what makes me a proud African. Even whatever the world tries to say, Africans are this, Africans are that, Africans are those, or whatsoever, I still carry that pride with me everywhere that I go. I'm not even shy. When some people, there are some people here in China, when they ask them, like, like, where are you from? Some people say they are from France, uh, they are from this, they are from that, or whatsoever. But for me, I'm from Africa. Come on, like, what are you gonna do? If you like me, like me. If you hate me, hate me. I'm still gonna move on. I'm still gonna survive with or without you. So everything makes me a proud African. I have to be honest.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Chereela, for passing by. We truly, truly
Okay.
appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me. Right. Thank you so much.